Welcome back to Pro League, everybody, live at the Next One Arena. My name is Valdez. Join with me today for the extra super duper long Kespa Cup cast. It is Wolf.
Yes, that is me. We're having a bit of a chill cast, but this next game coming up is pretty intense. As it is life, considered by many to be the best player in the world, absolutely, unquestionably the best Zerg in the world, is going to have to play a ZVP, the matchup where Zergs have been struggling a lot since the removal of the Swarm host. And we'll see how Terminator wants to play this series.
Terminator's a guy, he's really smart. And I think a lot of people are saying, oh, it's life. Okay, easy win. You know, life, just go in there, do your thing, you're fine. But I think Terminator's going to give us good games. I don't think it's going to be as one-sided as a lot of people think. I think life will win. Maybe 3-1, maybe 3-2, but I think Terminator, you know, has a decent chance as well.
All right, let's do our map picks and bans.
Life?
What do you think we're going to see a ban from for life? Well, I guess we don't have much time to think about it. Bonnie is what I was thinking, but like I was trying to think of another one.
I was thinking about the map pool. I'm like, I'm still used to the old one.
Inferno pool's 100%. Oh, I'm so spot on.
How do you do this, Wolf?
I mean, Inferno pools is like going to be banned 100%.
Inferno pools is never banned. I'll stop myself there.
All right.
Expedition lost game 1. I think that makes sense for life. Get off to a good start. Good map.
Echo default things up. And
two-player map.
I might see Coda next. Oh, Iron Fortress first. Maybe Coda probably after this. You know, I don't really follow like the scenes outside of like the Korean scene as much, so I'm not as familiar with these maps, to be totally honest. I know Iron Fortress really well because it's in the GSL. It's one of my least favorite maps in the GSL, but anyway, I mean,
PvC is interesting on that map just because third and fourth bases for both races is kind of iffy.
Yeah, I mean, Iron Fortress...
see a lot of Protoss aggression.
Iron Fortress is like a playable map. It's not like one of those maps like Infernal Pools, which is just like everyone is like, no, I'm not even going to touch that.
Yeah.
We're going to go into our little interviews beforehand, so check this out if you can speak Korean.
시드 받아서 진출해서 일단 기쁜 것 같아. 다 거의 아는 사이라서 없는 것 같아. 제가 일단 올라가고 아무나 만나도 괜찮을 것 같아. 일단 성주가 요즘 잘 나가니까 성주가 가장 강력하다 생각해. 딱히 없는 것 같아. 그것도 딱히 없는 것 같아. 그냥 그것도 생각이 없는데 그냥 놔두면 될 것 같은데 뭐가든 그냥 화수기가 좀 싫어요. 너무 사기 같아. 이번에 열심히 준비해서 잘할 테니까 많은 응원 부탁드려요. 해왔던 대로 잘해보자.
안녕하세요. 진에어 그리닝스 하재상입니다. 김민철 선수 라이벌이라 가지고 딱히 없는 것 같아. 성주? 그냥 잘해. 그냥 부모님께 다 드리려고. 오랜만에 다시 방송 경기로 찾아뵙는 것 같은데 좋은 경기력으로 팬분들 즐겁게 시청하실 수 있도록 하겠습니다. 재상아 잘하자.
일단 토스라서 좀 껄끄럽긴 한데 재밌게 봅시다.
16강부터 만나게 되는데 서로 좋은 경기 했으면 좋겠어요.
KT 로스터 라이브 이승현 vs G-Air Green Wings Terminator 하재상.
Interesting couple of interviews there. Both players kind of, I don't know, low-key. Terminator's like, yeah, if I win, I'll give all the money to my parents.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, here's a shot of life.
Whoa.
Look how many games
this guy
has
has played. So many games. What is that?
He's played so many pro league games. He's played in so many individual leagues. And the thing is, the more games you have played, often is an indicator of how good you are.
711.
Like, think about it this way. Even if his win ratio was directly 50%, the fact that he's played more games than most people means he gets deeper in most tournaments than most people, because the longer you get in the tournament, the more games you play. The more games you play, the more time you're fielded in tournaments and team leagues, etc. I mean, look at the difference. Terminator's played not even close to 200 matches, not even 150.
And his win rate is quite bad, actually. It's down there like 35%, maybe 40. And yeah, I mean, he's going up against literally the best Zerg in the world today. A lot of people are saying, you know, after the Stormhost change, that Protosses are pretty advantageous in this map. They can get ahead, do that Blink Stalker, Sentry Pressure, and we'll see if that comes into play here, or if Life can just kill him before it even gets to that.
That's the question. I feel like Life is definitely going to show us maybe some early pools, some early roach aggression. Expedition lost is the first game, and we all know how that ice has made for some crazy proxy hatch maps. We saw in Pro League recently, not on this map, but a different map. Rogue, with some crazy spine crawler shenanigans. I mean, we've seen Zerg players try to get creative in this time of sadness in DVP.
The Zerg Depression.
In the Great Zerg Depression.
Yeah. This is like the third or fourth one now, I think.
I think so. So it's a Great Zerg Depression of 2015.
Let's go to the game, guys. Game number 1, Life and Terminator on Expedition Lost.
KT roster life 이성현 vs G-Air Green Wings Terminator 하재상.
Up here in the top right in purple, the Zerg player, the best Zerg in the world, he is Life.
Bottom left in yellow, it's Terminator, called Hominator by a lot of his Korean fans, mostly by Sojung in the English shirt. His last name is Ha. That's where the nickname comes from.
It's a cool last name.
Yeah.
It's better than mine. Ha.
I don't know.
I like
Valdo's is pretty good.
That's
it's
right.
It's like what you've modeled your ID after as well.
Yeah.
It's like it's where you got the nickname Blendin' Velvet from.
Blendin' Velvet. You should bring it back. I was actually, we went to the League Korea Champions yesterday, and Papa Smithy, League caster from Australia, was visiting, and he was there with us in WCG when I was being called Blendin' Velvet. Mostly that whole tribe, that whole Blendin' Velvet charade was led by Clutch, actually, who was also there. He's, I think he does World of Tanks and some Mortal Kombat even.
Yeah, he's doing a lot of Mortal Kombat work, working with ESL, I believe. I love Clutch. So enthusiastic, such a great guy, great personality.
He knows a lot about hair, too.
He does.
As well.
Yeah. So obviously that gives him points in my book. But yeah, like WCG, a great tournament, a lot of history. Before we get into too much nostalgia feels, this is going to be a gateway opening for Terminator rather than a Forge opening on this map. He's going to probe scout pretty early, see that Life has gone hatch first. And he's going to come in here and check the pull timing, see if there's been any gas taken. A drone comes down just to clarify for Life what's going on. Make sure there's no cannons going up behind his base because he didn't drone scout early, just Overlord scouted.
Our observer very helpfully tells us where the Nexus will be.
Yeah, that's where
Thank you, observer. And Life is going to put down a third base.
Yep. As he sees the Nexus with his Overseer here, or Overlord, I should say, maybe very happy with his decision. Okay, normal timing for the Nexus after Gate. There are some scary timings with Warp Gate research coming out this quick with Gate Nexus core that Life will have to be concerned about with such a late pool and obviously such late gas.
Yeah.
The speed is going to be ways away, so he's definitely going to want to be ready for anything and everything that might come at him out of those gates.
It's funny how Life plays this early, actually. We see a lot of Zergs when they feel confident against Protoss. They just put down a pool first. They're like, okay, I'm just going to be safe. I'm not going to die to any cannons. I'm not going to die to anything, and I can win regardless of my later economy play. But Life, he kind of takes the other route. He's like, I'm going to put down two hatcheries before pool, and there's nothing you can do about it. I'm totally fine.
Yeah, with no Forge, no cannoning going on, and a normal Protoss opener, you're going to be totally fine. Even if it was like a one-base 4-gate, there are ways to defend this. It's tough, and in most cases almost impossible, but very confident opener here for Life, and this is just starting the series off for him in a very economic sense in game number 1 of this best of 5. Chrono boosted warp gate research, something to keep an eye on here. As I was saying, this is the weakness of this super fast third hatchery is gateway timing, so he has to be very careful about that.
May just put on some pressure too, delay some mining, force out some units so that Life really can't get that saturated. I think that's the idea. I would expect to see some gates go down here at the front.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's see what he does.
A few Lings are coming up here. They're going to try to come in here and see if there's like a Stargate being added and see if he can find how many gates are
boost again. 2 gates.
He's going to commit to the pressure for sure. Like, how many more gates he's going to add, though, Valdos? That's what we got to keep a close eye on. So those Lings want to check, too.
And Life, he's got to identify this. He's making some drones. And even pretty close to supply block. Now adding some gas.
Stalker not ready. Okay, he can hold position this. Saw the Chrono Boost, though, if he was looking. And that's a pretty big tell. Yeah, 14 Lings go up immediately. 18. Look at that. This is actually how StarCraft is a game. Like, that one little tiny piece of chrono energy, and he's like, oh, 22 Lings are coming.
It's pretty beautiful.
It's like so important to hide every piece of information that you can in StarCraft.
Life's going to be fine. He's going to have so many Lings. They are slow Lings.
Yeah.
But
actually, this might even force a recall. Oh, he's actually, well, never mind.
Yeah, now Terminator's just on the run. Life immediately switches back into drones.
This is a good position for the pylon if he wants to warp in here. But it looks like he's going to warp sentries in at home to try to help deal with these Lings. He also doesn't know that speed is not even started. It is now, but like he might be scared, like, oh my god, speed's probably about to finish. And what happens then? But with this many sentries, obviously against slow Lings, he's going to have no trouble whatsoever. And he can probably just transition now into tech, which I'm not sure what he's going to do here. I mean, I'm guessing he's probably just going to go ahead and add a Twilight Council and try to end up doing that kind of eventually blink and pressure while he gets to third base.
He's got a forge on the way. I think he'll just take a third base, put down some cannons, get a lot of sentries, and just try to transition from there.
Yeah.
Terminator, or rather Life, is beginning to break down that back ice.
Only a few Lings can hit that, so it's going to take a little bit of time before that actually gets settled out. And a few units warped into that pile, and the pylon actually remained. So Life didn't clean that up, and that could come back to bite him here. His Ling speed is still not done. It's getting closer.
There's more and more Lings on the way. Road Swarm is not even yet done.
All right, force fields here are going to allow so much room for Terminator to actually do some damage. Look at that. Traps those drones. Now he can drop another force field. These sentries doing so much range damage.
Those force fields are beautiful.
They're so well placed. Very little overlap. And there's the recall. It just gets out pretty safe, forcing a ton more units to be made, even a spine.
Terminator's doing a good job so far, especially with that attack compared to the last one. I mean, even the last one forced out 22 Lings. Just a huge amount of units. Life at 57 drones only now. And Burrow on the way.
Yeah, Burrow starts to make me feel like we're going to see some Burrow movement roaches in this game. That's a ways away, though, as he's going to have to get speed first. These Lings, yeah, there's a lot of them, but there's plenty of sentries. All the sentries survived, and he didn't use all of his energy either. So holding this base should be a piece of cake for Life, or excuse me, for Terminator against Life here. And even the Mothership Core out there floating around to identify where the Lings are.
Look at this, a huge swell of roaches. Like you said, just trying to put on the pressure with the Burrow and speed. And let's see what this Phoenix sees. This is actually very important. Sees some of those roaches, but is he paying attention? He's going to have to be very careful to try to hold these bases.
Yeah, and he doesn't have a robo. He's going down that blink +2 path like I was talking about, so...
Yeah, he definitely needs a robo sometime soon. There it is.
Okay. Cannons are going to give him some flexibility here as well, at least detection. Burrow movement, you know, we don't even know if we're going to see that this game, but Burrow alone can be very difficult to deal with if it's microed correctly against small groups of units.
Here we go. Those force fields are super late, and Lings get through.
Yeah, see, they would have been great if he stopped the Lings from coming through, because now he's can trap these roaches here and pick them off. Unfortunately, though, he lost some of his sentries. Now he's actually panicking over here at the right side as well. There's some decent force fields, but he doesn't have the DPS to finish those roaches off that he trapped at the front. There's the burrow. It's like, why did you get burrow if you're not going to use it? Now he's getting it out there. Robo is just now finishing. And again, another huge wave of roaches. He can stop these again. They don't have burrow movement, but oh no! The probes!
Oh my god. Nothing going right now for Terminator. So many of his sentries have been picked off before he even puts on any aggression. He has like 4. And look at this. There's a gigantic amount of roaches coming in here.
Yeah.
And Terminator is running out of energy. Does not force field the ramp. Finally he does. And I don't know. Life can just continue putting on the pressure. The Mush, of course, not going to do enough damage to push this back. And
yeah, this is just...
this is Life aggression you're seeing.
Look at this. He's coming from the right side now. Force fields can only buy so much time. Even with 3 cannons here, he's going to be able to come over here and start picking those pylons away. So pylons go down, he's going to end up losing power. He's going to lose the cannons as well. And once those force fields fade, he has to replace them, but he's running very low on energy. And even the roaches that are on the high ground alone here are going to be able to
pylon goes down for everything there. And yeah, I mean, I guess that's just going to be it. Too much aggression out of Life that Terminator was not able to hold. And he's even going to have burrow movement here in a bit, but I don't think it's going to matter. This game is over.
Just good control of the Life and good patience. There's burrow movement, as you said, not necessary here. And yeah, I mean, just looking at this game, I don't feel like Terminator made any huge broad mistakes. His third base was kind of late, but he did commit to aggression that didn't do as much damage as he would have liked. GG.
GG. Terminator didn't really get the scout. His robo was a bit late. And yeah, there you go. Expedition loss goes to Life. Kind of what we were expecting, but I didn't expect it to be that one-sided, to be honest.
Just the way it ended, too. I mean, it just looked like an overwhelming flow of roaches there. There were small advantages that Life had that led to that point. But boy, man, I'm excited to see the rest of this series because Life is just, I mean, he tore Terminator apart like, you know, wrapping paper on a new present, man. He just opened the #1 in the scoreboard. I'm gonna put that up at the top of the screen.
What? Good one.
Man.
I like it.
It's
good. You're making it work. Unwrap that 1. Put it up on your scoreboard. There you go. You're ahead 1-0. That's the way it works. Terminator getting some words from his